Hey everyone, it's your favorite real estate broker, Courtney King, in the building for another episode of Millennial versus Machine. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're talking about systems. Okay, real quick, let's reset. Repetition is actually really important, so it really sinks into us. This season is all about building a successful career in real estate. And there are two main pillars. What are they? Okay, mindset and systems. Okay. So we've got a couple of episodes already under our belt where we talk about mindset. You'll see mindset woven throughout the rest of this season. And last week we talked about systems, and one of the most important systems are systems for commanding your day. We talked about morning routines, we talked about evening routines, and the systems for owning your day. Today is all about systems for generating leads. Okay. And we're going to talk about simple systems that generate consistent leads without burning you out in particular. So if your pipeline dries up every time that you're busy, this episode is for you. If you have no pipeline, this episode is for you. You guys, leads are important. Converting those leads lead to closed deals, and that is our livelihood as real estate professionals. So we're going to break it down. Now, the key as we talk about lead generation are simple steps that you do consistently to help you build that momentum. Okay. Now, this might be a little bit of a unique perspective, but the place that I like to start when I'm talking about generating leads for your business is the goal. And my personal goal in particular is that when I am developing systems and implementing those systems, I want prospective clients to know what I'm about. And I also want to add value at every step of the way. Okay. So that is really my focus. And I'll give you an example of one of the systems that I personally developed that helped me build my pipeline of investor business. And that is, I joined a site called biggerpockets.com. It's free. And this is not a sponsored episode. And what I did, because I wanted to focus on all things investments and rehab and leasing and all of that good stuff, is I created an account, built my profile out, and I said, okay, I am going to block time every week to get on this platform and comment, share all of my experience and tips that I've gleaned over the years with fellow investors. And I thought to myself, if I can do 5 posts a week, okay, so 5 comments on different forums, then this is a way for me to build trust with other investors that are on the platform, brand myself as the expert, and generate leads. And that's exactly what happened. So I started this like maybe 12 years ago. I haven't commented in a while. So if you go looking for me, I'm probably not on there as much. But I would go on the forum and I would look at the different topics. And the first thing that I would do is I would actually look at which forums or questions that were posed on the platform didn't have any answers. And I would respond by answering. Okay. And if there weren't any topics that I, was familiar with or was an expert at, then I would just scour any other forums that dealt with investing or renting or what have you. And so I did that so much that people just started reaching out to me. Hey, I saw you post about Section 8, and they would ask me a question, or, hey, I would love to connect. I'm investing in Texas. Can we sit down to chat? And that is one of the ways that I built my business and created a lot of momentum. And so really, as we go into the actual systems, I really want you to be thinking about discovering what systems work within your morning and evening routines, and trying new things, right? Because you are, to a degree, going to have to put yourself out there and try new things and show up in new ways so that you can get in front of your target audience. So here's the problem, guys. Okay. When we're talking about generating leads, most agents are in this like hunt mode, right? They're constantly chasing the leads. And really, without systems, lead generation is really reactive. But with the systems, you can make it proactive and generate a consistent flow. Burnout is real, you guys, okay? And as I talk to agents across the nation, across many brokerages, lead generation is one of the toughest things for agents. And so I really want to dive into three types of lead generation systems. Okay. We're going to keep it really simple. So I'm going to break it up into three different buckets. Number one is a manual but repeatable system. Okay. This is like low tech, high touch. We're going to talk about that. This is where most agents start. Okay. Then we're going to talk about automated and digital lead generation systems. And then the last thing we'll talk about is hybrid systems, kind of the best of both worlds, best of manual and automation all together. Okay. So let's focus on the manual but repeatable bucket of lead gen systems. Now, this takes me back to when I first started hiring agents for my brokerage. One of the first activities that I would do with my agents is a hundreds list activity. And that's an activity where I have an agent write down the names of 100 people that they know. It could be acquaintances, it could be long-term friendships, just 100 people that they know. And oftentimes when I would start here, people would say, well, Courtney, I don't know 100 people. I said, write down as many people as you do know. Okay. Just go have at it. Right. And I would tell them the reason why we were doing this. Okay. And that is because your sphere of influence is probably the lowest hanging fruit ever when we talk about lead generation. Okay. They already know you. They already somewhat trust you. Okay. And typically there's low anxiety when you reach out to these people. Now, what does the outreach look like? Okay. Again, it's about making sure people know what you're about, and it's about adding value. Okay. So as you're thinking about reaching out to your sphere of influence, okay, you can set up templates. You can use ChatGPT. Don't like read them verbatim. Like usually you want to start with like a phone call. You want to start with a like one-to-one connection, right? Or start with a text message that leads to a phone call. But the key is you are practicing getting out of your comfort zone and talking to people about what you're about and how you can add value to them, how you can help them. Okay. So that's one of the systems. You could say, okay, Courtney, by the end of the week, I'm going to do my hundreds list. Okay. And then after that, every day I am going to let's take it back. I am going to reach out via text or telephone call or both. I'd say both, to at least 3 people a day. Okay. Well, what are you doing? You're building habits of lead generation. Okay. You're also getting out of your head and just talking to people about what you're about and how you want to help them. Okay. But this is part of developing those habits, those long-term systems that are going to generate a consistent flow of leads. The other thing that I think about is those people that are in your sphere they know people. So if you're thinking about, oh my gosh, this is manual, I'm just calling one person at a time, right? They know people. So maybe they're not in the market to buy, sell, or lease or whatever. Okay. They know other people, and it's about building meaningful relationships. Okay. So that is one of the systems that I would probably use if I'm just starting out. Okay. There's a lot of different scripts online. Like I said, you can use ChatGPT. But it's about consistency here. Okay. The other thing is reaching out to past clients. Okay. So maybe you've been in the game for a long time and you have closed so many deals. So many agents do not keep in touch with their past clients. And it's very easy to do. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how to do that when we get to the automated and digital touch points. Okay. The other manual and repeatable systems would be systems for networking. So at one point, I told myself, I said, okay, I am going to attend at least 2 networking events every month. Okay. Now, this could be networking with fellow agents, but if we're actually looking for leads, it should be networking maybe with people of the same interests as me, right? I like to play pickleball, for example. So if you want to join a pickleball league and go to pickleball networking events, that is something easy, and you have a shared connection with these people, okay? Because you guys both love pickleball or whatever your thing is, okay? So that is another way, again, to generate leads. Also, when I say networking, and people sleep on this so much, your inspectors, your lenders, your title people, your contractors. So easy to build relationships with those people so that you're top of mind for them or they're top of mind for you, and you guys can share the love and share the business. So easy. And that could be something as simple as, sending holiday cards, right? Or if you know your contractor's birthday, sending a quick little text message on their birthday. Those little things that really set you apart, that shows that you are genuine in your interest in them and adding value to them. It just goes so far. So those manual but repeatable systems are awesome. So we talked about systems for touching your sphere and breaking those into chunks that you can do over time. And we talked about networking. Now, I guess this would kind of be the best of both worlds. I'm going to save this to the end. Let's go to the automated and digital things to leverage technology to save you time in your lead generation. One of the things that I've done is created a quarterly newsletter. Okay. Oftentimes, believe it or not, your customers and your clients, they're interested in you, right? And so one of the things that I did, especially when I moved, is I included in one of my quarterly newsletters updates about me and my business. Hey, here's what I'm doing, right? Started a farm, check it out. Those little things. And I paired that with market updates and threw it in an email newsletter. Okay. MailChimp is super easy to use. There's a lot of different online platforms that are free that can help you with those email drip campaigns. Again, it's those are automated ways to keep you top of mind and continue to add value. Okay. Let's get into another automation, and that is beyond email campaigns. That is like social media ads. Okay. Now, if you are just starting, you probably want to hire somebody like on Fiverr or something to help you do this, because there's so much competition out there, and I don't want you to waste money. But that is a way through different social media ads that are tied to like a specific landing page. That's a way for you to capture those leads and then nurture those leads, whether it be reaching out to them manually and regularly or adding them to your email newsletter. That's another way. Okay. Now, I just thought about this, and forgive me because I'm backtracking just a little bit. Manual but repeatable items that really are so easy is home buying classes, okay? Or home selling classes. And in the age of Zoom and internet, it is so easy to put those on that there's a little bit of a digital component, obviously, because it's virtual, and manual component in terms of getting the word out there about this event. But that's such an easy way to generate leads. Now, you got to get out of your own way, guys, because I literally heard some of y'all saying, oh my gosh, that seems like a lot, right? Or, oh my gosh, nobody's going to come. It doesn't matter. Okay. Um, it's about you trying new things to add value to potential customers and get in front of those potential customers. Okay. So remember how I said about taking your sphere list, okay, and reaching out to those people? Those are the people that you add to your home buying or home selling virtual class, webinar, whatever you want to do, okay? You add them to your email drip campaigns. You reach out to them on holidays, right? These are combined efforts, guys. And yeah, until you build those habits and build those systems, it might be a little bit of work, but you guys, that's what we're here on earth to do, to work. Okay. Work is not a scary thing. I promise. Okay. Now, let's talk about the hybrid systems. This is like the best of both worlds. And this is where we kind of pair the manual with the automated system. So like, for example, I'm thinking about time blocking, which I talked about in last week's episode, is, blocking calendar time for you to reach out to your sphere, right? To be on social media, to go on Bigger Pockets like I did and start posting and adding value and answering questions for those other people that have questions about real estate. Reddit's actually one of those ones that I was thinking about as well, where you can definitely add value in those local forums wherever you practice real estate. Another opportunity would be setting up some automations within your CRM, where when a new lead comes through, different emails are sent out, maybe a follow-up call is scheduled. That's the best of both worlds, combining your lead generation systems to go into your CRM and then spit out different workflows, basically complete different workflows to be able to engage with those prospective leads. Okay. Now, I think the biggest thing that I want to drive home here is small, consistent actions really lead to long-term pipeline growth. Okay. So let's say you do something one time and then you get bummed because you don't get any leads from it. Well, that's not how it works. You have to do it consistently over time for you to grow your habits, but also grow in your momentum and generate more leads over time. The system doesn't have to be perfect at all. And just know that, yes, there's a lot of different apps out there that make it really easy for you. And you'll have to just adapt what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and make it so that the system works for you and that it can easily be repeated. You guys know one of my favorite books by James Clear called Atomic Habits. He says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So these systems for generating leads are so, so important. I want to wrap up with two different examples of this. Okay. So my first example is one of my agents in Austin has been so consistent in posting on her social media, and I love it. She posts her different listings, her closed transactions, tips of the trade. She does it very consistently, so much so that she has a lot of people reaching out to her and engaging with her content, but also saying, hey, I have this house to sell. Can you come over and take a look at it? So that is one thing that I just am encouraged by her because she is trying new things and she's putting herself out there, whether it generates immediate returns or not. But over time, it has generated returns. The other thing that I think about is the power of those newsletters. So for example, and honestly, I probably need to get back on it. My career has shifted a little bit to the point where I'm less consumer facing and I'm more adding value to real estate professionals like you and me to really help you grow your business. But like, I think if I wanted to generate more leads, more agents that engage with my content, I would really focus on a newsletter and kind of do what I'm doing right now, which is continuing to put a content out there to add value. So maybe that's inspiring you to create a YouTube channel focused just on your neck of the woods, maybe the area where you live, and kind of the neighborhood or the zip code or whatever where you live, where you can show people all of the cool things about what that area has to offer. Brand yourself as the expert. Like, that would be something super simple to do. And you just have to get out of your own way because I know some folks aren't really comfortable in front of video or all of that. And that's okay, right? You'll grow to doing that. So that's kind of where I would start if I were wanting to generate some leads. And then last but not least, partnering with other people in your office. Okay. If you don't feel comfortable with the systems that you have right now, or maybe they're just not working for you, right? No sense in reinventing the wheel. Reach out to the people that are in your brokerage to figure out, like, hey, what are you doing? Reach out to the successful people. Let me say that. Reach out to the successful people in your brokerage to ask them, what are they doing? Because sharing is caring. I mean, again, this is not rocket science. It's about making sure the world knows what you're about and adding value at every step of the way. So here's the thing, guys. Systems don't replace hustle, but it certainly can multiply it, okay? So there's going to be some times that we got to roll up our sleeves, especially if you're just starting to systemize the way you generate leads, is picking one system to build this week. Just start there, right? If you want to take it to just writing a list of 100 people and starting to reach out to them consistently, that's an easy place to start. Maybe you want to start your social media that you've been putting off for so long. That's another way, but start where you are and make it simple for yourself. Okay. So what I'm going to do, again, because this is more focusing on the lead generation systems, we're going to talk about, once you have those leads, what do you do with them next? How can you put together systems for nurturing those prospective customers? That will be our next episode. So make sure that you like, subscribe, comment. Okay. If you have a system for generating leads that works well for you, definitely drop me a comment or put it in the poll that I have open on Spotify. I hope this is helpful for you guys. We'll dive deeper into more and more systems for building a successful, long-lasting career in real estate. Thanks again for tuning into another episode of Millennial versus Machine. We'll see you next time. Bye.